Welcome to the Following the Joy podcast with me, Debbie Westwell, confidence and mindset coach and massive travel enthusiast. This podcast is a place to talk about being the best version of yourself, following your heart, making scary changes and having fun on this adventure that we call life. I'm your biggest cheerleader and I want you to know that it is never too late to start over and make a life you are excited to get out of bed for. So let's go and get following the joy. In today's solo episode, I want to talk to you about how you show up in the world, energetically speaking, and what people's perceptions of you could be, and just to kind of open your eyes a little bit to possibly how you're being perceived by others if you're not aware of it. But before we start, I just want to say, so one of the things that I do is I'm a tour leader or tour director for small tour groups. I'm currently in Blarney Castle in Ireland. And one of the best things about my job is I send the passengers off to go and enjoy themselves. They're all currently queuing to kiss the Blarney Stone. And I get to walk around the grounds of these beautiful places. I'm going to do a 360. If you can see me, if you're watching, if you're not watching, that's fine. The grounds are beautiful here. There's rocks, there's waterfalls, there's trees everywhere. There's like birds tweeting. I've just walked past a lake. Absolutely stunning. And it just makes me feel so much more relaxed and peaceful. I feel like I can deal with anything if I am surrounded by nature. Anyway, should we crack on? So, a few things have happened recently to me where I am perceiving how others are coming across. And what I mean by that is, sometimes you have that person who just comes across with like frantic energy, like they're not planned and everything's a bit panicky and they try and cover their tracks, and so it comes across as a little bit like super fast. They're not calm, and as a consequence you start to think, I trust the information that they're giving me, but maybe this person is just a bit frantic. Now, some people are like that all the time anyway. Some people might come across grumpy. Again, if you don't have a coffee in the morning, maybe you come across grumpy. I don't know. Or surly. Some people are naturally like that. Not everybody is outgoing. Not everybody is an extrovert. So if you're an introvert and come across quietly, but you can still have kind of quiet, calm energy as opposed to kind of like, don't talk to me energy. And don't get me wrong, there are always times when we need don't talk to me energy. So yeah, it kind of led me to think, maybe I should do a podcast episode on this, because it made me think, how am I showing up? And I know that previously, so obviously, I think I've shared with you before, over the last couple of years, especially over the last couple of years, but prior to that as well, I have been definitely working on myself, on grounding myself in nature, on being more calm and accepting. And it comes down to the whole kind of, the universe is working for me. It's not working against me. So even the things that go wrong in my life, so for example, if I'm stuck at every single red traffic light, I trust that there's a higher power out there that is protecting me from something. So potentially that could be I've missed a traffic accident or something like that. Or maybe that is, sometimes things go wrong in your life, you get sacked or you don't get the job that you want. And actually, you've just got to trust that there's a reason, because something better is coming for you. So sometimes we put our wishes and wants out into the universe. We've just got to trust that something better is coming. So those times when we feel like maybe things aren't going our way, we want the job promotion or we want the holiday or something happens, it's having that faith and trust that actually better things are coming and there's a reason. And right now you don't know the reason why, but it will all unfold in the future. How many times in the past have you wanted something and it's not happened, and then later down the line you've gone, oh yeah, that's why that didn't happen, because this has happened instead. Or the relationship that you're in maybe breaks up and you're gutted at the time or you're heartbroken, but actually it's because there's somebody better for you further down the line. So it's having that trust. And I've done a lot of work on myself recently, in recent years, to have that complete and utter trust that the universe is working for me. Now, whether you call it God, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it source, whatever that is, that higher power is working for your best and highest interest. And honestly, maybe 3-4 years ago, if things would have been going wrong, I'd be the first person to be in tears. and thinking that like the world's collapsing on me and having a drama in my life. And what I've realized is that actually just gives out that frenetic, frantic energy. And if you kind of just learn to go with the flow a little bit more, you become a lot calmer. One of the things that I've had said to me actually recently, when I've been on some newer tours that I've been leading, the drivers have said, you are so ridiculously calm, like anybody can throw anything at you and you just deal with it and you just get on with it. And again, I think that's part of my daily practice. And that daily practice for me personally is I wake up every morning and I say, good morning, world. Today is a great or fabulous day. I do Reiki on myself. And then I try and get myself out in nature. I try and touch some trees. I ground myself. So for me, grounding myself, I do it one of a few ways. So I'll either physically get out in nature and touch nature. I will touch a tree and imagine roots growing out of my feet. I will touch leaves as I'm walking past plants. I will smell the flowers. I will stop and literally smell the roses, like the saying goes. Or if I can't get out in nature because, I've got a meeting in the morning or something like that, I will imagine, I do this in one of two ways. So I ground myself into nature, imagine roots from my body. So I'll either imagine that I've got roots growing down from the bottom of my feet, deep, deep down into Mother Earth. And then I mentally bring those roots all the way up to my heart chakra in the middle. And then I imagine a big trapdoor opening at the top of my head. And then that giving me access to all of the source, universe, gods, knowledge and wisdom. And I imagine a white light coming down and meeting that energy of the roots in my heart chakra. And then I put a protective bubble of gold around me. Or the second way I do it is I use chakra points. So I imagine my root chakra, so at the very, very base of the spine, a little red circle of light. I imagine it spinning. And I push that red circle of light down, deep down into Mother Earth to ground like in roots. And I bring that up, back up into my root chakra. Then I take my imaginary green chakra from my heart, so in the center, and imagine green light spinning and like a green stream of light going all the way down again into Mother Nature's, deep, deep down into the center of the earth. So I'm grounded into the center of the earth. And then I breathe that back up again. I literally do it as breaths. So I'll be breathing out, going down, breathing it back up again. And then as I'm breathing it up, then I'll take it up to the crown chakra, so at the top of your head, and like imagine a white light going all the way down. So I'll be exhaling that white light all the way down, deep down into Mother Earth, and then I'll bring that back up. And then I'm grounded in 3 points. And then again, I will just put like a nice little protective bubble of gold around me. And that just stops kind of other people's negative energy affecting me. That's personally how I do it. So there's 3 ways: touching nature, or one of those 2 ways of grounding yourself. And by doing that every day, I feel like I've got a lot calmer energy. That plus the belief that, I think that things are working out for me. So I had a coach once, and she used to send me a message every week saying, how's it working out for you? Is the universe working for you, or do you think it's working against you? And do you know what? Most of the time, I say the universe is working for me. You've just got to see it. Because if it's working against you, you're constantly in that scarcity or that victim mode or that lack, and you feel like it's always somebody else's fault. It's always not you. There's nothing you can do to change yourself. You're always right. And sometimes it's good just to stop and go, okay, what could I do differently? Or like I mentioned before, how could this be working out for me in the best possible way? So how is this perfect right now? And I'll tell you another little story. So I once broke my wrist. I was in a bar, hadn't even had a full pint, so I wasn't even drunk. I fell upstairs, I tripped up, and I heard my wrist snap. And I managed to get back downstairs, say to my friends, I've broken my wrist. My body's doing exactly what it should do, but I'm about to black out because I'm starting to see stars. And I did, and I blacked out, and my friend caught me. And actually, you know what? At the time, there was like a little tiny Jack Russell in the bar, and he was sat underneath his owner's stool. And as soon as I hit the floor, my friend said he came and he sat next to me. And then when I came to about 60 seconds later, I looked at him and I was like, oh, hello, how are you? And as soon as I said that to him, he walked off. Honestly, animals know, don't they? They're so intuitive and they know. They're just wonderful. But anyway, back to that story. So I could have been like angry that my wrist had broken. It was my right wrist as well, and I'm right-handed. But what I did was I kind of took myself off to hospital, and then I got a plaster cast put on, and then I was straight back out again having a cocktail, as you do. But I just thought, do you know what? My body did exactly what it needed to do. So I'm grateful for the fact that it did exactly what it needed to do. And then I just embraced the fact that I needed to learn new skills with my left hand. So I taught myself to write left-handed. I could do an awful lot of stuff now left-handed, brushing my teeth and stuff. And so I just kind of tried to see the positives in everything. So I guess that's one of the takeaways, is seeing the positives. And so I guess my question to you now is listening. Is the universe working for you or against you this week? So what's happened in your life this week, and how has it benefited you? Or what lessons have you learnt from it? And then, is it exactly what you expected? Was there something that happened that maybe wasn't great, but actually upon reflection, you can think back and go, oh, there's the reason why that happened as it was. So I want you to kind of just reflect back. And the reason why I want you to do this is because it will start to make you a little bit calmer if you can understand that the universe is always working for us. But going back to what I was originally saying about how your energy comes across. So also, after you've listened to this episode, just go around and just have a little look or sense how your friends' energies are, or people that you're coming across, their energy is. It's like, is it that busy mum that's like rushing all the time? And then maybe they're putting that strain on the children because the children feel like they're constantly under rush, or they're not perfect enough, or whatever it is. Or is it that person that's always got an excuse and they're always blaming somebody else? Is there energy that just feels a little bit unbalanced? Is there somebody's energy that makes you feel, oh, I'm not sure I want to spend a lot of time around them? So is there energy maybe a bit low in energy? Is there energy, or the vibe that you're getting from them? When I'm saying energy, that's what I kind of mean. The vibe that you're getting from them, the persona that they're giving out. Is it a bit down? You can normally tell, can't you, if your friends are down or whatever? You can normally say to them, hey, this isn't normally like you. So then my challenge is just observe them and see how they are coming across. And then just reflect on yourself and see how you might be coming across to others. And whether that would change their perception of you. Are they going to trust you more if you're a bit calmer? Are they going to listen to what you say more if you're not kind of shouting instructions last minute people? Or, if you adopt a little bit more of an open posture and an open, curious kind of mindset, are people going to be coming to you more, think you're more approachable? So have a little think about that. Now, I've recorded this in many different segments because I am trying to take the time and not be disturbed by people around the gardens of Blarney. So hopefully this has all made sense to you. Hopefully you'll have some things to reflect back on. So again, I'm going to ask you to have a little look and observe and have a sense of how some of the people in your sphere are presenting their energy and whether it comes across well or not. Have a little reflect back on how you might be coming across, and if there's anything that you want to change about yourself and how ideally you'd like to come across. And then try and fit in some practices of calming, with that meditation, self-care, Reiki, walks in nature, grounding, anything like that. And ask yourself, how is the universe working for you at the moment? And start to appreciate all of those little things. So this has been more of like a very short solo episode of a burst of hopefully something that can give you a little bit of thought, but also small changes make huge differences. So see if you can do any small changes to yourself to become a little bit better energy, either higher energy, calmer energy. So from this beautiful grounds of Blarney Castle and me to you, hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you enjoyed this episode and hope it's given you something to think about and take away. Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. And as always, any links or anything mentioned will be in the show notes. If you haven't connected with me already, I'd love to meet you. So come find me on Instagram at Debbie Westwell. You can always slide into my DMs and let me know what you thought about this episode. Or why not join my Facebook community, the Alchemy of Self-Care Free community? You can also find out how to work with me at debbiewestwell.com. If you like what you hear, then please follow me or hit the bell icon. Share with somebody like you who would benefit from listening. And if you have time, then leave me a positive review and that would be fabulous. Thank you for being your wonderful self, and I can't wait to chat next time.